A high-level visit to New Caledonia is the latest attempt to find a political solution to the crisis that has engulfed the French territory since May. The three-day fact-finding mission was headed by PIF Chair and Tongan Prime Minister Hu'akavamai-Liku Siosi Sovaleni. The delegation included Fijian Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka, Cook Islands Prime Minister Mark Brown and Solomon Islands Foreign Affairs Minister Peter Chanel Angkovaka.
J'ai évoqué avec eux les obstacles ou les quelques écueils qu'il faut lever, qui sont liés directement à notre statut actuel, parce qu'on n'est pas un État indépendant qui a la liberté de travailler. Donc ça fait partie des sujets d'avenir sur lesquels il faudra travailler.
The visit was initially scheduled to take place in July before the PIF Leaders Summit, but was postponed due to differences between New Caledonia's government and France.
This is very somewhat sensitive matter for the French state. Previously, France's ambassador to the Pacific has said this is an internal matter for France. Well, it's clearly not. It's a matter of regional attention.
New Caledonia's leaders want to show they are ready to begin moving forward. They also want to seek guidance from Pacific neighbours, many of whom have a history of colonisation. The mission's head, Prime Minister Sovaleni, said they were there to listen and not pass judgment. Talanoa or conversations were held between PIF leaders, New Caledonian political parties, the French embassy, civil society and indigenous groups. In a handwritten poem, PM Rabuka summed up the most important part of the mission was friendship. The leaders will now prepare a report to present at the next PIF Leaders Summit in Solomon Islands in September next year. To break it all down for us, we are joined by Cook Islands Prime Minister Mark Brown, who joins us from Rarotonga. Kia orana and welcome back to the show.
Kia orana, Johnson. It's great to be on the show. It's also great to be back home.
Firstly, Prime Minister, what were your observations and what did the people you met with tell you?
Well, we were part of the Troika mission, the mission that was sent by the Forum to assess the situation on the ground as a fact-finding mission and report back to our Forum leaders. So the devastation is very apparent, and to those that were affected by it directly, it is very traumatizing when we spoke to some of these people about the loss that they experience, and they cannot themselves understand why the violence was taken to this level. There is going to be a critical need for a financial rescue package for New Caledonia with 25,000 people out of work. The second aspect of it is in terms of the political situation and the need to foster and encourage dialogue. So there is a significant proportion of the New Caledonia population that is looking forward to the resumption of discussions and talks about what sort of New Caledonia do they want for the future.
The visit has been described as strictly observational, but the term mediator has been floated around. Is that a role that PIF could play?
Well, the Forum provides a neutral space, if you like, for any of our members, for any concerns that they have. And certainly that's how we see our role as neutral players in this particular concern. This is an issue that is impacting New Caledonia and the New Caledonian people. The PIF or the Forum or any of our leaders are not in a position to tell New Caledonia what they should do. We are there to provide support to help achieve outcomes that they are wanting.
Could the Pacific Policing Initiative be called upon to deploy Pacific officers to New Caledonia to help restore and monitor the peace?
That was one of the things that we discussed with various groups that came to see us. The recent Forum leaders meeting, the Regional Policing Initiative was discussed and raised and stood up by the members as something that we're supporting. This was something that we talked about as well with the New Caledonian political parties, with the state government, and also with various other groups. The beauty about our Troika group was that it was made up of members of our Pacific region who had different backgrounds and different ways to achieve the autonomy and independence that we have. We had Fiji, led by Prime Minister Rambuka, a country in itself that has been through turmoil with the history of coups that it had. And Prime Minister Rambuka was able to give some personal insights into the troubles that Fiji went through. We ourselves have come through a different pathway to our increased independence and autonomy through our free association arrangement with New Zealand. So we were able to share some of those perspectives from each of our countries with New Caledonia to provide them with points of view from their Pacific family that have been through the troubles that they're going through right now, and providing them with some thoughts on how they might see their future moving forward.
Leaders are now going to prepare a report on the visit and present it at the next PIF Leaders Summit. That's 11 months away. Is that too long?
I think we will be circulating the outcomes of our report amongst leaders much sooner than that. And then we will be seeking the leaders their own views and thoughts on what we've reported back to them on the situation on the ground. And then if we can come to agreement on proposed recommendations from our fact-finding mission, we as a forum should be in a position to agree amongst ourselves to release that report to help facilitate, if you like, the dialogue that needs to take place and to help to reduce tensions that may still be simmering.
Lastly, I want to quickly ask about the US elections. What could the outcome mean for the Pacific?
The US re-engagement back into the Pacific really signals what their intent is. There is certainly bipartisan support for a continuation of that engagement in the Pacific. America, regardless of whether it's Kamala Harris or whether it's Donald Trump that wins the election, for the Pacific, the US now recognizes the Pacific as an important partner. It may take a different form depending on who is the president as they look to impose their own presidency, if you like, their own administration. I believe it's coming down to the wire, as they say, in terms of the polling and the analysis. I'll wait and see who the actual winner is next week once the final counts are done.
Prime Minister, me takia tupaka for your time.
Me takia mata. Thank you.